You got into the safety business because you wanted to protect people, but somewhere along the way the job started controlling your time, your schedule, your priorities, even your income potential. What if the expertise you've built over the years in the field can give you something more? More freedom, more control, more ownership of your future. I'm Sheldon Primus, the author of 7 Steps to Starting a Profitable Safety Consulting Business and the host of the Safety Consultant Podcast, with more than 350 episodes helping safety professionals become consultants and grow their career. Consulting changed my life. In fact, I'm a full-time RVer, and one consulting contract paid for my home I live in today. Now, I help safety professionals build their own consulting practice through bi-weekly coaching calls, accountability, and personal guidance. But this program isn't for everyone. Start with the Consultant Readiness Audit at sheldon.coach.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete signal transmission trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all 3 books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
You got into the safety business because you wanted to protect people, but somewhere along the way the job started controlling your time, your schedule, your priorities, even your income potential. What if the expertise you've built over the years in the field can give you something more? More freedom, more control, more ownership of your future. I'm Sheldon Primus, the author of 7 Steps to Starting a Profitable Safety Consulting Business and the host of the Safety Consultant Podcast, with more than 350 episodes helping safety professionals become consultants and grow their career. Consulting changed my life. In fact, I'm a full-time RVer, and one consulting contract paid for my home I live in today. Now, I help safety professionals build their own consulting practice through bi-weekly coaching calls, accountability, and personal guidance. But this program isn't for everyone. Start with the Consultant Readiness Audit at sheldon.coach.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete signal transmission trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all 3 books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
right, well, today in the Safety Consultant podcast, we're going to talk about hazards, controls, and procedures. But what if the biggest risk in the organization is stuff nobody wants to talk about? So, look, the stuff that you think, right, safety failures, they don't always come from bad rules. They don't come from broken communication. And right now in the U.S., we kind of have a real large political and ideological divide, and that's kind of accelerating the breakdown in the organizations as well. There's bleed over, and I'll give you guys some data on that one. So I am going to shout out Dr. Jay Allen and the Rated R Safety Show. Listening to the show episode 1282, when disagreement becomes the real risk. Started talking about politics, and when people don't talk, you got the siloing effects and all that stuff, and then you get some breakdown in communication. Not a good thing. So this episode, I'm going to kind of focus on really, it's not about politics at all. I don't want to focus on that. That's right, watch out. Don't want to deal with politics. It's about what happens when safety and disagreements turns into silence and the risk of that. So, bear with me. We got a good one today.
Come on.
So, come on.
Welcome to the Safety Consultant Show with Sheldon Primus, where we blend safety smarts with business brilliance and a pinch of Sheldon's signature wit. Whether you're a safety pro, a fresh-faced consultant, or just safety curious, get ready for a show that'll educate, entertain, and elevate your safety game. Let's dive into the art of consulting with your safety Sherpa himself, Sheldon Primus.
This episode is powered by Safety FM.
And some coffee. Yeah, gotta have some coffee when you're doing these, right? So again, I set you guys up with something that I've been really thinking about, and the thought process on this show itself was a bunch. In the U.S., as time of recording, it's January 27th, 2026, and we've had some issues in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, Minnesota area. That led to the death of 2 Americans at the federal government. And, even that phrasing is going to be something that someone will say, oh, it's political. I'm just using the phrasing that's coming from the local officials. So the local officials have a lot to do with how I phrase that. I'll just go ahead and tell you that. However, I was thinking of root cause stuff, most of you guys don't know that, with me, when I go into an organization, I'm not just dealing with safety and health. I'm trying to look at the organization as a whole. I'm thinking of their culture as a whole. And a lot of that will be the root cause side. So if we have components of the organization, and the basic component of every organization is the employees, right? And the employees can't feel safe enough to talk to each other, or there's bullying between one facet of the organization, the members, the workers, and one worker feels bullied by another, or can't talk because they feel like this individual is going to judge me and X and whatever. That equals silence. Silence equals increased risk. Increased risk equals you're going to have yourself some issues. So in 2025 and 2026, Emerald Journal, they actually did this. It's Emerald Insight, Journal of Knowledge Management. They had a research January 12th, 2026. And this research was more based on the human resource side, but what the conclusion comes out is the study showed that political polarization, I'm reading this, in workplaces reduces trust, increases relationship strain, causes people to withhold information, And again, withholding information, that's the key here. It causes people to withhold information from coworkers they disagree with. So that can directly affect hazard reporting and safety communication. Monster Inc., the company that does hiring, and HR CI, and they had this, what they did is they did a bunch of surveys, and the respondents came out of the survey relating to politics and work, and it says a majority of workers find political talk stressful, increasing psychological risk, right? Many avoid conversations to protect their job or reputation. Employees admit they change how they collaborate based on political perceptions. So basically, people stop sharing information because they don't trust each other, and the risk doesn't disappear. It just becomes a latent condition. So we don't want that latent condition to take over. So the risk is still there, but if people aren't talking about what they see because they don't want a conflict with the coworker, that's where the problem persists. So the political discord isn't just U.S., it's global now. We've heard a lot of different organizations talking about it, but usually what you're going to see, especially what's going to happen in an organization that has political discord, you're going to see safety blind spots. And I know I started the conversation with Minnesota Talk, and that's very important to me. I've got some friends in Minneapolis, a very close friend, and I reached out to her, and she's scared. So that's a real thing, regardless of political affiliation. If your friend is suffering and not living life to her fullest because of fear of what could happen in her streets, that's a real thing, right? You can't leave that at home. That stuff goes with you. You're a human, so you're going to bring that to work, right? So now if you have a perception that the person, person that you're working with and their political party or their affiliation or whatever is contributing to that personal fear, chances are you're not going to have the same work experience with this person that's open and collaborative, and you guys work hand in hand in certain areas. It'll be hard, right? So that's going to be, an information silo. One of those thought process for that is, I'll tell my people, not those people, the ideology stuff. So with that, the critical safety lines, it becomes where the department becomes the tribe. Let's say that. So now my department's going to keep information from that department because they're not our people. So now critical insights and safety and operations and everything else doesn't cross department lines, and now you've got yourself an issue. Take it to the individual level. So your coworkers, if they feel like they can't speak up on a conflict because they don't want to talk to someone that they have a conflict with or perceived conflict, then that's also going to lead them to a self-censorship thing. So therefore, any kind of near misses or something that would have happened, if they don't feel like they could safely talk to someone about it, then at that point, that's going to truly lead you to have a risk that is unrecognized. It's not recognized, let's say it that way. So you're going to have an event. The us versus them thinking, you could disagree with someone on personal, but when there's safety discussions that go into all these turf wars and everything else, now you're going to have yourself a different dynamic that could happen. And again, we've talked a bunch about psychological safety in the past. So if there's a psychological safety issue, the worker's going to be feeling engaged in stress. They're going to be disengaged in the workplace. They're also going to have certain behaviors that might exhibit itself in such a way that you're going to end up dealing with HR conflicts and risk. So those are the things that you're going to you want to avoid, right? So it all ties back to that research that I told you guys about. And it's that, if your company truly starts throwing around the terminology psychological safety without addressing these issues, then honestly, you're going to end up being in a situation where your system is going to be like Dr. J. Allen's book. It's going to be kind of a construct with holes in it. So with those constructs with holes, you're going to get yourself a big possibility that you're not going to have any true conversation. The risk is going to still be there. So culture is what we're going to talk about as an underlining thing. That's the whole conversation. And as safety consultants, we're the people who we help the organization see those hidden losses, those hidden things that could lead to losses, that risk factor. And so I just want to reiterate that portion as well. So the myth that you're going to see is that you're going to hear a lot about is politics should not be brought in. It should be stayed, keep it at the door. People can't do that much, okay? Just be honest with yourselves. Most people, they want politics off of the work, and that's what you want. But when you see someone who's driving down with the flag of, for us in the U.S., the two major parties will have a donkey. Yes, donkey, and elephant. So if you see that coming into your parkway, or you see flags or really loud bumper stickers, it could set you off right away, right? And goes with either party. So mostly what you want to end up doing, though, you're going to try to acknowledge those things, right? In a healthy organization, you want conversation, you want people to feel safe. Root cause of what I feel is happening in America is, American, born and raised, is back in the day we used to be able to talk about politics and stuff like that without feeling like you're, truly about to throw down with somebody. There's been feelings behind the discord, and there's not enough critical thinking behind what people are saying. So that escalation seems to be the root cause of everything, and any escalation that goes to that degree is going to lead you to feel that, honestly, you're going to end up seeing situations that could have been handled in its inception phase. But honestly, it's got to a degree that people are going to get fired, and they're going to sabotage things where there is increased risk. So you don't want to deal with that. All right. So that is the idea related to this. So tough talk today, right? Yeah, I want to just make sure I give you guys some time to process this. And my mindset, again, is coming through the safety consulting and thinking of the culture. And that's an important part that we have to address, or else you're going to keep seeing clients repeating the same kind of risk over and over and over again. And so we don't want that. So the myth about politics, staying at home, becomes a little bit hard, right? And if someone, again, feels like they're being, that someone, because of whatever political affiliation, doesn't have their back in a real working environment, then that silence is not harmony. It's just going to be deferred risk. And you're going to have a situation where this risk now is going to lead to an incident, and you don't want that. So here's the thing I'm thinking about that's going to really help. There's a process out there called learning teams, and this is where you do a 2D event. First day is situation day, and things that are the loss event, that not just loss event, things that you really want to think of the problem day. Get a soak period, and then you come back with a day of solutions. So the learning team model used for this, and I do have some episodes with a learning team. So you might hear my world's loudest keyboard clicking away. That's me checking in the background. I've got an episode with Todd Conklin, but I'm going to do a learning team episode. It looks like it's my episode 87 and episode 88. Wow, that was a long time ago. 87 and 88. But that's where I talked to Brent Sutton and Brent Robinson and Glennis McCarthy. So they're all on the show talking to me about learning teams. So look that one up. That's going to help you. So in this certain learning team model, what we could do, and we could borrow this concept to help us, is giving the workers a safe place to talk about this stuff. And you have to make sure it's structured in such a way that it's going to be highly, it's not going to lead to confrontation. So you want to structure your learning team so that you're going to have a small group, a neutral facilitator. You're going to focus on the impact of the work. So that's honestly what you're going to be looking at. If we don't have this conversation, here's the impact of what this could be. So that's the focus of this learning team. And again, you're not going to try to convince people in any way, one political side to the next. That's part of your ground rules that you're going to set up. You're just trying to establish some psychological safety in these sessions. It's for information. It's to make sure that the workflow doesn't stop. It's to make sure that people don't hesitate while trying to speak up. Those are the reasons for these learning team events. Another learning team objective here, well, I guess more than objective, but you just want to make sure that you're going to try to identify where risk will happen, where siloing of information is happening, where the workflow is going to end up leading to an increased risk that is not going to end well. That's what we're trying to do. So we want to make sure that we keep tying things back, especially with the research that I showed you guys earlier. The research is saying that people are taking all the political stuff and it is coming back home. So your goal isn't agreement, it's just visibility. You may never get the agreement part, but you want workers, co-workers to be able to talk and to trust each other again in order for them to feel comfortable sharing critical information. So in practice, you're going to try to set up the training facility where it's in a nice circular situation so everyone could see each other real well, be really comfortable. You're again going to try to talk about situations versus actual feeling. Your goal is the culture. So you want to, whoever, I'm assuming that you guys are going to be the consultants or at least a safety team that's going to be leading the conversation. So how you want to structure this is, again, you talk about work, not politics. So you're going to truly start the conversation up with, this is a learning event. Where does disagreement show up at work for you? Where does information stop flowing? When do people hesitate to speak up? Those operational curiosity questions that Sam Goodman, the Hop Nerd, tells us about in his operational curiosity cards. Go to thehopnerd.com. In his shop, you'll see it. I love those cards. So start with questions like that, right? And now, just safely, surface some of this friction. I don't always feel safe sharing concerns when I think about some people will dislike me. That's some conversation a worker may have, right? Sometimes they decide it's not really important to talk to this person because we're going to have an argument. That's the stuff you want to get out, right? You want to see where there's some sort of self-censorship, and you're going to bring that out. Hey, self-censorship is going to give us some risk, and you want to make sure that you bring that out in a safe environment. So the other portion of this is you're trying to remind as a facilitator that you're not talking politics, but you want to identify risk. So the culture stuff you're going to ask is, what safety information might be lost or delayed today by not talking to this individual? What decisions now become a little bit weaker because of this situation? Another thing that you can ask, where does the silence end up weakening us, right? So those are conversations that could come out of this stuff. Again, hazard identification, giving an open place to talk. You want to focus, again, with the learning team model and something like this. You want to make sure that you're going to be trained enough to notice emotions when there's escalations, things like that. Allow people to say their piece, but you want to make sure that you create systems for them to do this in a way where it's not emotional but constructive. So anonymous reporting channels, maybe get a rotating facilitators, some pathway to get some clear escalation, just a way for people to see, all right, here's where you're getting a little heated, let's bring it back. Maybe in work practices, we could have some sort of cross-functional reviews. So now you could get these teams to start working together. If you do any kind of cross-training, that's a good way to also introduce to your clients ways to get people who don't normally deal with each other to work with each other. And then also what that's going to do is if there is any disruption in your organization by staffing or anything like that, then honestly, if you have a cross-section of people who could do other jobs, it's going to give you some business resilience. So you're going to open the channel of communication and get business resilience, right? That's a win-win. So in the end, I really believe that your conversation should be, we do things differently. Let's see how we can remove a barrier to communication and open discussion for work. Let's see how the safety meetings, the JSAs, the audits, the briefings can go where there's no conflict or feeling like you're going to, that the disagreement is going to set you off so much to the degree that you can't work together. So that's important. So you're going to need leadership to help you with this. Business owners, if they're going to hire you as a consultant, they're looking at you as someone who's an outside party. So you're going to have to take that responsibility and lead them through this and have their blessing on this, absolutely. But you're truly going to do your best to lead them to a situation where they could see the success and keep telling them this is to help you guys with your corporate culture. And safety culture will go into corporate culture when you start getting more mature. So you won't even say safety culture anymore. It'll become corporate culture. This is to help that. So you want to make sure that in your work group, you don't want to have too many boss subordinates in the same group or else they're not going to talk. You want to keep it where it's peer level. And if there are some leaders in that group, just because of size of company, start the ground rule that says, hey, in this learning team, there is no boss subordinate. They were just employees together, shared. Leadership cannot punish honesty. They can't ignore the findings. They can't use this session to identify troublemakers, or else they would have blown all this work and goodwill. It will backfire spectacularly, and you don't want that to happen. Psychological safety, if they want to preach that, which is a great thing, then this is where it begins, right? So I know I started with political discord. That's truly how these things will start. However, we could be the vessel as the safety department, as the consultants, to make work neutral again, but then also to help where you're looking at coworker to coworker that says, we're in this together, we're exposed to the same risk together, silence is dangerous, disagreement is unavoidable, which is, natural, but the siloing effect doesn't help, and you need trust in a safety culture, in a corporate culture, and the real leadership is going to be okay with uncomfortable truths. So if a political decision or even a division in your society is a mirror in the U.S. of what the organization is doing, then let's use this to kind of like go, clean it up a little, see if we could get back to some discord that is truly going to be where you could talk to somebody without a heated debate, and you could hear their side, they could hear your side, and now you two could grow together and have some sort of professional understanding and some caring about each other because you're both exposed to the same risk, right? So that's the moral of my story. All right, gang. So thanks for listening to this. I want to remind you that this Saturday, January 31st, I am hosting my very first, first of the year. I've been doing this for a few years, but this year I plan on doing a few of them. So it's safetyconsultant101.com. So safetyconsultant101.com. We're going to meet up online, and we're going to be able to do a nice session, a 2-hour session, where I'm going to help you with your safety consulting career. I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to help you out with that, and I want you guys to go ahead and register. It is 100% free, and it's going to be January 31st, starting at 9 a.m. Pacific time. That's where I am. So again, safetyconsultant101.com. safetyconsultant101.com. All right, so just want to let you guys know, sign up for that. I'll see you this Saturday, where I'm going to give you some free workshop stuff. It's workshops, so you guys are going to be writing stuff down and everything. This is just you listening to me for 2 hours. We're working things out. So I will see you guys on Saturday, January 31st, in our Safety Consultant 101 live session with me. 3 days, 23 hours away. But right now, go get 'em.
That's a wrap for today's safety show. Remember, safety isn't just about hard hats and caution signs. It's about business smarts too. Thanks for joining us on the Safety Consultant Show with Sheldon Primus. Until next time, stay safe, stay savvy, and keep consulting like a boss. Go get 'em. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast or broadcast are those of the host and its guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within the past hour, only examples. It should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the positions of the company. No part of this podcast or broadcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast or broadcast, Sheldon Primus.
This episode has been powered by Safety FM.
Ever catch yourself thinking, I could do this on my own? If you're a safety officer with real-world skills, you don't have to wait for permission to build your freedom. On Saturday, January 31st, I'm hosting Safety Consultant 101, a free live workshop. In 2 hours, I'll help you package your expertise into a service clients will pay for and set pricing boundaries so you don't get stuck doing free advice forever. Register now at safetyconsultant101.com. Let's build your freedom. You got into the safety business because you wanted to protect people, but somewhere along the way, the job started controlling your time, your schedule, your priorities, even your income potential. What if the expertise you've built over the years in the field can give you something more? More freedom, more control, more ownership of your future. I'm Sheldon Primus, the author of 7 Steps to Starting a Profitable Safety Consulting Business and the host of the Safety Consultant Podcast, with more than 350 episodes helping safety professionals become consultants and grow their career. Consulting changed my life. In fact, I'm a full-time RVer, and one consulting contract paid for my home I live in today. Now, I help safety professionals build their own consulting practice through bi-weekly coaching calls, accountability, and personal guidance. But this program isn't for everyone. Start with the Consultant Readiness Audit at sheldon.coach.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete Signal Transmission Trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all 3 books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.